Good morning. Welcome back to the Shock Joxx Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Kevin Hastings, Tom Sinafani, Terry Reinhart, Chip Carter here with you. Thank you for joining us. We just got done taking our quick peek at last night in high school football. We're going to swing over
NASCAR playoff.
Yeah.
Well, next weekend we've got they're coming to the Roval, but we got to wait on that because this weekend in Kansas, Hollywood Casino 400.
That makes a lot of sense in Kansas.
Presented by ESPN Bet.
Yeah, ESPN Bet beat me last night. TCU, man, I'm done with you. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Last week's winner, Ryan Blaney at New Hampshire. Did I pick that, Terry?
So one of us did.
I think I might have. I said it either the last week or the week before, Ryan Blaney.
Oh.
I know I picked him one of the last 2 weeks. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
But Blaney wins last week in the round of 12, first race. Kansas this week, and Charlotte is next week. Terry, did you catch any of that from New Hampshire? The Mobile 1301.
Let me just put it like this. When I turned it on, Kyle Busch was a lap down.
We know the answer from here.
Yep. And I'm sitting there, and he got his lap back. Then next thing I know, he's behind again. Then next thing I know, he's like 4 laps down. But he finished ahead of Shane Van Gisberger.
Is that all that matters to you nowadays?
Well, I'm going to give you credit, though. Now, I'm going to give the guy a little bit of credit. Shane Van started, what, 6th or 7th?
I'm not sure.
So his qualifying must have been decent, but it didn't take long for him to head to the back once they started.
I'm not sure if I got any.
I'm trying to figure out,
this week.
And this is me, okay? You're running an oval. What is the difference from running this oval to being on a road course? I understand. I know they keep telling me because they show his feet because he can go into turns and he uses both his feet to get through them, and that's more than any other guy in NASCAR's doing. So I know they're working on that, some of the other ones probably, to be able to keep up with him. But running an oval looks to me like that would be simple.
There's got to be. And Kevin's made this point. Part of it's equipment, and part of it, I think, is just what comes naturally to him, or what kind of racing did he do growing up? A lot of these guys doing the sprint middies and open wheels here in the States, that they grew up on ovals. So that's why I think that's why road courses are not natural to them. For him, it is.
Yeah, to me, it's this. You have Ross Chastain over there in your group. They can run them.
Your favorite driver.
Well, they can run them. And then next year, you're going to have Connor Zelich coming over there for your group. What a group that Trackhouse is going to have. They're going to be able to run road courses with Shane.
You put them in Hendrick's equipment, Terry, they're going to run good on those ovals.
Or JGR.
So those big-time teams have some type of advantage we don't know about. We've talked about that for years.
Well, they're going to have a guy for everything next year. That group will.
I talked to a guy one time, Terry. This German fella. And he grew up doing racing like a Southern boy would, like what Chip's talking about. And asked him if he's ever been to a NASCAR race, and he laughed at it, and he said, ovals isn't real racing. He said, you don't have to do anything. You just go and turn left and go and turn left.
Yeah, so it should be easy to learn.
He says he's talking about real racing. He said, you're turning, you're going fast. And he was talking about the G's. You remember Jimmy Johnson talking about his adjustment. Going to any car is having to understand that car is actually going to turn as opposed to not going to turn in a NASCAR because the weight difference. So he was talking about he did stunt driving, and he was actually on this TV show doing a stunt driving. It was one of those ones where somebody does the ride along, and then you scare the piss out of them. Yeah. So he was telling me about he went in the first turn and the dude was screaming like a little girl and peed himself actually. And what was the reason he was telling me this story is because they got these undercover cameras and stuff. He actually caught the guy. They actually caught the guy riding being like really abusive and mean to his wife before the show, and he gets in the car and peed himself. And so they were just talking about like this is just a big thing in Germany about how this guy got on TV and he made him pee himself going into turn 1 and then taking a dead right at whatever miles per hour it is. He's like whatever G's. He's like he's holding all those G's. And he said he just went back and he said you see his pants just get wet. But that's an example of the different cars being able to handle those turns and going what different people think about it. So he sees that as racing. That guy that grew up is that we're going to those corners. Who's the bravest going to this corner at the last second, the fastest? And the NASCAR is we're going to break and slide in this corner and bump somebody out of the way. And so that's different thoughts on that.
My dad,
but I can't explain the SVG not being better and better at oval.
And I would think over time he would get more comfortable with it. A lot. My dad did one of the Richard Petty NASCAR experience things. We gave that to him for one of his birthdays, and it was at Charlotte. And my dad, he retired from auto parts. He worked he's been around cars his entire life. He raced drag cars when he was in high school. But they talked to him about the car building up momentum as you're going around the oval, and the trainer, Mom and I sat in there in the training course before he got in the car with the classroom full of people, and they have cones set up for where you want to enter the turns to kind of give you direction. And the guy's telling him, when you get to that point, don't brake. You think you're going to brake, it will hold. The car will hold. And my dad, who's been around cars his entire life, came up to, and I mean, I'm talking 45 minutes to an hour after he got out of the car, his hands are still shaking. And he said, and he looked at me, he said, you think when you've gotten or accelerating, the car's built up its momentum, you think when you're going into the corner, you're going to go right into the wall. And you have to trust what they're telling you, that it's going to stick, that those tires are going to hold as you hit the turn. Mm-hmm. He says, and it does. It does. But in my dad, dad got up to 150. That's as fast as he got. So add another 50 miles an hour on top of that. And these guys, and I think there's to Kevin's point, there's a sense of nerve that has to go with trusting that this is going to stick and it's going to hold. Now, on top of that, add that you're trying to get through that quicker than 40 some other cars, and that's where the differential occurs.
Here's the example of the experience thing, Terry and Chip. Jimmy when he went to IndyCar, you remember him passing at Texas on the outside, and the IndyCar guys lost their ever-loving minds because they only pass on the straightaways and their little go buttons or whatever it does, their little go-kart buttons that makes them go a little faster when they pass the overtake buttons. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah. They got NOS?
well, they have a button that makes them pass each other. Did you know that? They have an extra, it makes them, basically that's what it is.
What is this, like Mario Kart?
You get like 2 of those a race or something like it. Yes, it's exactly what it is, basically. I know the other guys watching online are going to get mad and disagree.
Yeah, sorry.
But that's basically, but anyway, what I was saying is that
drafting.
Well, they lost their minds and thought that was just out because they don't even go 2 lanes at all in that. They've got the whole track to work with, and they're hugging the line because there is no outside. So when they saw Jimmy pass on the outside, they lost their minds, and that's probably like SVG's like, might not want to go outside. That wall's the enemy in NASCAR. You can't bump anything. You got your tires, there's no bumping. So there's a lot of different strategies. So I'm guessing it's that, Terry. It's more like it's like Daytona, Daytona Thunder, whatever. When you got to just drive through the smoke and not break through it.
Yeah. Well,
and Days of Thunder, in the movie Days of Thunder.
One thing I did get correct, I told you, be careful. Joey Logano's coming. Mm-hmm. And I even said last week he'd finish in the top 5, and he finished 4th.
Let's look at the standings real quick. Outside the cut line right now is Chastain, Cindric, Reddick, and Bubba Wallace.
Bubba dropped a whole lot. Wasn't he 3rd last week?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, Joey Logano wasn't even in the top 12.
Yeah. They a
lot
of shifting last week.
Logano's at 6, Elliott 7, Briscoe's the cut line at 8, 12 points ahead of Chastain. Cindric's 19 back, Reddick 23 back, 27. Bubba is in dead last right now.
When's the next cut?
2 more races.
Mm-hmm.
So Blaney's in.
Not this week, but after the Roval.
Blaney's in for the next round. Byron, Larson are the top 2 points getters
cut
right
it down
now.
to 4.
8.
Cut it down to 8.
Yep.
Okay. This race right here means everything to Bubba.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to win that road course. There's no way he's going to win that.
You don't even think he'll place, or you don't think he's going to perform well enough to move up?
No. And I'm like, he needs to win this one because he's last.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too many people to pass for him to move up, or a lot of them in front of him, like Chastain, Cindric, and Reddick. I don't see Reddick having a problem. Maybe Cindric and maybe Ross.
You talked about Logano. Look who's right behind him too, sneaking quietly, just kind of working his way into the list.
All right, what are odds for this week, Chip?
Right now, we've got Kyle Larson plus 300 is the favorite at Kansas. Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney tied coming in second plus 600. William Byron plus 700. Christopher Bell plus 900. Tyler Reddick plus 1,000. Joey Logano is at plus 1,400. Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe plus 1,600. And then Terry's favorite, Ross Chastain, is at plus 1,750. And we mentioned Bubba Wallace. The rest of rounding out the guys in the running. Josh Berry and Bubba Wallace are plus 2,500. So they do not – Vegas does not give Bubba much of a chance to perform well here at Kansas.
Well, maybe the lights are too bright for him.
Moment's too big for him, maybe.
Maybe the moment's too big for him.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see moving. I kind of like like if I was going to go with somebody, if I had to bet right now, it would be somebody like Kyle Larson, somebody who's been there before. Denny Hamlin, somebody who's been there before. A lot of big names there at the top, a lot of guys that have had a lot of success. So it's going to be fun going down the stretch. You got Chase Elliott there at 7. You got a lot of good drivers in there.
This is a volatile because I mean, Bubba was like in the top 5. I want to say last week. Denny was, I think, second, and he's dropped. Larson was leading, wasn't he? And he's fallen to third.
Joey Logano was out of it too.
You've got guys. There's a lot of movement right now, so this is getting down to the nitty gritty and getting exciting.
All right, guys. I was trying to pull up the last few winners here. And here we go. Last few winners at Kansas: Larson, Chastain, Larson, Reddick, Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch.
Hey, Kurt Busch. There you go, Terry.
But he was a long shot today, even though he's won there. He's a long shot. 17.5 to 1.
It's plus 2,500. So
25 to 1.
Yeah. So
25 to 1, and he's won there.
Yeah. Larson's won 2 of the last 3. Kevin, is that what you said?
Larson has won 2 of the last 3. There was
Chastain. Might want to put your money on Larson.
Chastain is sitting on the outside looking in right now in 9th, and he won last fall's race. So I'm gonna pick Chastain.
He might pass Briscoe. That would be the only guy up in the front that I think could fall out of it, because I think them other 7 from Elliott up are gonna stay.
Who y'all picking for this week's race?
All right, you picked Chastain. I'm going to go against the Larson seems like the smart pick. I'm gonna go Denny Hamlin.
Reddick has won before, and he's on the outside looking in. Bubba Wallace has won before, and he's on the outside looking in. 3 of the 4 drivers on the outside looking in have won this particular race.
I'm gonna go Denny Hamlin.
I'm going Christopher Bell.
I'm going with the safe bet, Kyle Larson.
All right, we'll be right back on KDCBroadcasting.com.